Well, hello everybody. We'll give it a few minutes for people to come in. Drew's sharing out the link.
I am, so I'm
Um,
getting it all shared, girls.
okay, let me put it on comments. But in the meantime, while she's sharing it out, we were going to have Eli on for part two on talking about what his experiences were when he died, and he went through a lot of experiences. And so being when I didn't realize that I scheduled it on July the 4th, and when a lot of people was going to be like having barbecues, family get-togethers and stuff, so he had to cancel. But don't worry, we've rescheduled that one for July the 18th, because next Tuesday we're going to have Christina on. Christina, um,
Ghost
from
Squad.
yeah, from Christina's Son Ghost Squad. And then the following Tuesday we'll have Eli back on. So let me rearrange here my co-host and my guest. So we
Yeah.
have we have Drew on.
You
She's my
me? Me
co-host,
does he?
and yeah, what? She's sharing out right now. And then we have our guest, which is Sherry from PWI, which is Spiritual Investigator. And Sherry, do you want to tell anything about yourself while Drew is doing her thing over there, trying to share it out, since this is an unexpected thing? And welcome in,
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
trying
so
to tag
I'm
everybody in
Sherry,
it, guys.
World
which
World.
name known as Willow.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I think there's a
Right, so
slight
I'm
delay
Sherry,
now.
also which name known as. Yeah, there is, I think. Okay, so I'm Sherry,
I think it's
which
funny.
name known as Willow, and I am an investigator. I'm a practicing shaman. I'm also a witch with the mad hair. Um, if you like crazy people and you love people that speak the strange and the unknown and like to do crazy things like do spells and do goodness for the world, then I'm most definitely the person for you. And please come and check over my YouTube channel. There's a lot of interesting things on there. Love and light.
Uh, are you
It
are you
definitely is,
able
Gary.
are you able to put your link up, Sherry? There's a delay. When we were in the back room, there wasn't a
I
delay.
don't know if
So,
I want to risk it because every time I'm moving and
oh
doing
yeah,
something at the
yeah.
page, it's making my video go
Yeah.
funny. It's,
Right
it's
now, I'll
really
grab
bad the
it,
weather here
guys.
at the minute. We've got a storm here, like we've got rain and wind and everything been going on. So
I'll put it in the chat right
I've got
now.
no music.
Yeah, it's quite dodgy right now. I think we've got a storm heading over Scotland as well.
Yeah,
I'll put it in the
it's been
chat,
raining all
guys.
day. It's been raining all day. It's been horrible. I got caught in the
Yeah.
rain. I was like a drowned rat when I come home.
Oh yeah, I saw your comment you had made that you
Yeah,
were soaking wet.
yeah, literally.
Oh, there, you've got that. That well done. Well, Weird World has got it. Or well, is it weird? Is that how you pronounce your Weird World? Yeah, it is Weird
Weird
World.
world. Yeah,
Yeah,
weird
that's
world.
Sherry's link, guys.
Thank you, sis. That's my link, guys.
Oh, okay, cool, cool. Okay. Hey, and need like, hey,
Thank
Mystical
you.
and Drew and Sherry
Hello,
stopping
Eli.
in, saying
Hi,
hi.
Eli, brother.
Hope you enjoy your family.
Yeah, I hope
Yeah,
you're having a
this is
nice
my
time.
link, guys. Yeah, we forgot that it was was it Independence Day. You call it the 4th of
Yeah.
July.
Yeah,
We forgot when we set up the stream, so it's understandable that people want to go celebrate because it is dinner time where yous are, isn't it?
Um.
yeah,
Well, yeah. Well, here it's like 4 o'clock in East Tennessee, so a
Yeah.
lot of people will be having their either late lunches or early suppers, with family and stuff like that.
The
So,
reason that we want to get Eli back, guys, is I feel as if everybody that has some sort of spiritual experience, especially somebody like Eli who has crossed over, I feel as if his path is important to people that investigate. Because imagine you're a spirit and that confusion that Eli was in, imagine you died in that confusion. So to me, Eli can help us by telling us what helped him go back to his body, what helped him snap out of it and things. That's
Mhm.
important to us as investigators so that we can maybe some point in time incorporate that information into any spirit that we come across. These little tidbits of information that Eli could tell us could maybe be important further down the line. Anybody that's had any spiritual experience, whether it be a near death experience or anything, it's important to come and share your story so that we as investigators can try and help any spirit that's crossed not crossed over yet, or even crossed over and still confused.
A lot
Yeah,
of them
because
are confused. A lot of them get
Mhm.
lost and don't really know where they're heading to and going to. I've had a lot that have come to me going, I don't even know where my head is. I don't know what's happened. Like, even though they know their past, they didn't know what they were doing, or and it can be very difficult. So I do agree with Sister Drew. It is really good to listen to other people that have had them experiences because you've
Yeah,
been in both worlds. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
You've been in both worlds, so you can and you've come back. So it's not like you've stayed there. So
yeah.
now, I've had a near-death experience. I didn't die, but I did die. You know what I mean?
Right,
That was when I had the blood poisoning from when I was attacked on my neck, and I
right.
remember not going
Woody's
as far
back,
as either.
sis.
Yeah, would
Well,
it?
oh,
He's
I
quite
was
loud.
busy listening to Sherry.
Yeah, he's just quite loud at the moment. He wants to be heard.
Oh, no
He
kidding.
does.
One of these days, I'll just buy a new headset and see if it does the same thing or if it's
Yeah.
actually this
If you can't fix
headset.
it, it's okay. We can ride through it. It's fine.
Did it go
Eh,
away?
No, he's
No.
still going proper at
I
Oh,
gotta
nearly.
dance.
He near. Oh, he's
Oh,
away.
it's there. Yep,
That's him.
he's gone
That's
now.
him. Thank you, Woody, for not interrupting.
It doesn't work when I shake. He just wants to see me dance. I don't want to dance again or it'll start up again.
Yeah, don't try. Yeah, I just feel it's important. Whether you crossed over or not, Sister Sherry, I feel it's important. It's important for
It's not that I didn't cross
investigators.
over, but I didn't go. I didn't quite have as much of the experience as what he did. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because I wasn't pronounced dead. I'd just gone into that state just before you're gonna die, and
yeah,
they were able. So it was different. But I do remember going through the tunnel, and I remember seeing all these strange lights just coming out around me, and I could hear my family calling me,
right,
and I'm and I was heading for my family and stuff, and then I just remember being in this really white area and just seeing
right.
different energies around me, and I'm like, where am I? And then it just turned into like woodland and trees and things like that. And I remember going onto a boat, which is what I do when I go to see Aura and that. When I need to go into the
Yeah,
spiritual realm, I'll go onto a boat on the river. I remember being on a boat and I'm talking to what I believe is the higher power, but I couldn't see who it was physically. All I could see was the bright light and them saying, "Your time is not now." And but
right.
I remember like sitting there and looking at them and wondering what was going on because I was just at first it was just silent and we were just going down this river and I just remember just seeing certain little things. I like
That's
remember
all
seeing my life
important.
go in front
Mm,
of my face. So I remember seeing myself as a child. I remember seeing myself growing up, having my kids, all the good things, all the bad things. You know, I do remember all of that, and
yeah,
it flashed within my eyes. And then I was in the boat. I was just like, hang on a minute, like where am I? And then this energy come down in front of me and was like, it's not your time. And I'm just like,
Hmm.
yeah.
what do you
See,
mean?
it's
Where
all
am I?
important.
Because I
I
was
feel.
shocked. I was confused. I didn't know where I was. I didn't even know that that had happened to me. You know what I mean? So I was like, where am I? And he was like, you're in the spiritual realm. You're on
Yeah.
the outside of the spiritual realm. And I'm like,
See, what makes
and
them
then I could see
decide
Aura.
if you come
I could
back or
see Aura
not?
and
You know?
Darius as well, which was really
Right.
weird because when I was there, I see Aura and Darius, which are my guides. And
Yeah.
they were even the ones that come and actually got me out of the boat and actually brought me back. It was really weird.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But it just
Interesting.
having your life running before you and the time that I was there, even though I was going through that situation, I didn't feel like I wanted. I didn't feel like I wanted to eat either. I didn't want to have no food. I didn't want to have any of that because
Right, didn't
I
cross your
didn't want
mind.
to be there. I didn't want to be in the
Right.
spiritual realm. I knew I still had a life here and I had things I wanted to fulfill. So for me, it was completely different to Eli. It was pretty quick for me. It wasn't me seeing all this evil stuff happening and all this good stuff
Yeah.
happening. It was just my life in front of me.
Eli went through hell.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's because he's been there a lot longer, though, isn't it?
the only
Because
reason
he's
I
been in
can
that
Yeah.
connect
state a
what
while.
Eli's saying and know what Eli is going on about is because I have been in the pitiful hands of spirits. I have been in the realms for the spirits. I've seen these things happen to spirits. You know what I mean? So I'm
Yeah.
able to.
Yeah.
That's why I
Right.
could relate with him. It's not because of my near-death experience. It's because I work with spirits, see spirits, and I have to go in their realm
Hmm.
sometimes to help them.
See, I do believe that they show
You
you
know,
that
so
for a
I have
reason.
seen that.
Yeah, there's a reason that they show you
Hmm.
things like
Yeah,
that,
they do.
whether
Yeah.
it be that, yeah, because they wouldn't tell you and they wouldn't let you see anything, knowing that you're only human and you would probably tell people. So I do believe all that's
I just
important.
remember just
Have
being
you ever
told
ever
it's
done
not your
anything
time
like
yet.
that mystical? Yeah.
I've never been through any of that, but just from the like the paranormal side, doing the investigations, I think Eli is going to help. It's funny how he's not here, but yet the whole conversation is about
It's still
Eli.
Eli.
Yeah, I told you
Yeah.
something's
but
going to come.
but yeah,
Yeah.
even if we're on this side, what he's experienced is going to help us when we go back and start doing our next investigations, because he's going to bring a lot of light into it. Like when the
Yeah.
spirits say, when the spirits say, am I dead? Can you imagine how, because there's no time for them, how long they've been dead? It could be 50 years, it could be 10 years, it could be 2 minutes. But the
Yes.
confusion, yes, that they don't know that they're dead. I can't even imagine.
I
It's
know.
almost like if somebody here on this plane on Earth has Alzheimer's or dementia, to know that they don't know
Yeah,
who
that
they are, they don't
confusion.
know where they are. Yeah. And for the split seconds, they might
Yep.
remember, but you see that glaze in their eyes where they're scared, they don't know what's going on.
Heartbreaking.
That's the
They're
way I'm
confusion, aren't
seeing that
they?
it would be for the dead, the
Yeah.
spirits, that's how they are, not knowing
Remember as
what's
well
going
though, the
on.
spirit box told me and Chris Eli died. Was that the spirits telling us that Eli was going to be important? You know?
Well, it would be because if you think about it, any spirit that's within the spiritual realm or anything like that would be aware of anyone that's passed over and that maybe come
Yeah.
back. They're going to be aware of anybody that goes through to that area and back out. It doesn't matter if you're in the purgatory area or if you're in heaven or if you're in hell. Like they're
Yep.
aware of that. So yeah, of course
Cause
they're
some,
going to be aware
some,
that he died.
yeah, cause
Yeah,
so many are
exactly,
just in
Eli.
limbo.
Yeah.
Yeah. For the people, anybody, if you're just coming in or you're
And it's
watching the
another way of them reaching out
replay,
as well. I think they said Eli died. I think they wanted him
Yeah.
to talk about it, so that he could
Probably. I think
relate
that
it.
was what
And
it
like
said.
you said, maybe
It
it could
said
help other
Eli
people
and
to
then he
understand in the
died. It was
paranormal
on
field.
the spirit talker. I definitely feel as if, see, I had the
Yeah.
assumption that we were all put here together to be a family to learn people, and we are that. That's what we are together for. But I do
Yeah,
also
definitely.
believe now the way things are going on that we're here for another purpose as well, and it's going to be probably to help the spirits because I've always said throughout this journey the only thing I want to do is talk to the spirits and help them. And that's been my focus for I started this. So I do believe that the spirits are aware of all our community and they're obviously
It
gathering
is
for help.
unexplainable.
So,
Weird world.
so what were you going to say, Mystical?
mhm.
You didn't have an experience like that, but what?
No,
The spirits teach you.
yeah, no, I was just gonna say, with the insight that Eli's going to give us, is going to help us
Yeah,
improve our experience with doing our investigations, because we will know more of what's going on. And a lot of times too, I wanted to say, people always say, like when they use the apps, that they're like, oh, it's just gibberish what's being thrown out there. What they
right.
don't understand is what Eli went through. that alone is a lot of gibberish because he didn't know if he was coming or going or upside down
Yeah.
or in or out
Yeah.
or anything. So when spirits also do that across our deals, it's not that okay, maybe the app is faulty. Yeah, some of them are, but you can get to know that. That's going to
Yeah.
help us in the knowing that maybe those spirits
Yeah,
are so
weird.
confused they don't know. Maybe from one second they're talking to us, and then the next second they're in a whole different place. So
With
him
necrophonic,
enlightening
for
us is going to
example, you
help.
listen for the little
Mhm.
voice. Yeah, the
But if
Yeah.
necrophonic mostly. I listen for the little voice in between,
what you
especially once you play it back. You hear that
Bye,
little
Eli. He
voice that
says
is human.
later.
Bye for now,
see you
Eli.
later.
Enjoy your meal, buddy.
No, he said, yeah, I can
Yeah.
explain that later.
Yeah,
Mhm.
definitely,
I can
brother.
put this
Yeah.
later. But like I think like what you got to remember is even though it's a spiritual realm and it's all supposed to be on one level sort of thing, okay, there was different dimensions to that spiritual realm. So not every spirit's able to come in as clear. And obviously not every spirit
Yeah.
that goes over is going to remember who they are or how they
Hmm.
died because there might have been something wrong with them or it was just all of a sudden. Some of the injuries done to that person at that time is sustained and carried into the spirit realm. So if you've got a severely bad head injury, you're going to be very confused when you go to the spirit realm because you're not going to be thinking straight
Exactly.
because you've had that injury. It takes a while
Yeah.
while they're in the spiritual realm to be able to catch up with who they actually truly are again because they do heal over time,
Yeah.
but it takes time because they've still got that emotion and that memory and things. So it
Mhm.
takes time for them to get
And the
over that.
shock of them realizing
Yeah,
they're dead will be a
yeah.
lot
Mhm.
sometimes. It'll be a lot
I've
for them
done
to
it.
take
I've done
in.
it. I've watched spirits sit there and just like drop to their knees, screaming and crying because they didn't realize they were dead. And I'm like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
so no, like please get up so I can talk to you
I
and try
know.
and explain. It's very difficult to
Heartbreaking.
talk to them because it is heartbreaking. And some of the ones that I've come face to face with have been really young. They shouldn't even be dead. You know what I mean? But it's difficult for them to
Yeah. And
express
Yeah,
like
weird.
themselves.
I get it.
yeah, and and I have a suggestion. We can start blessing the chats before we start to bring in good karma. Actually, all of us, we actually do prayers and stuff
Yeah.
before we're live because we've already had incidences where things like
I've
to
got
come
my
through the
incense and things on just
electronics.
now, see?
Yeah,
Yeah, I've
yeah,
got like
we burn candles, we do prayers, we do all of that, before we come in. But that's nice that you said that too, so that we can also, let
In Weird
everybody
World,
in
you
the
can
chat
send
know.
blessings. Usually, if I was in the chat tonight, I would be saying blessings to everybody. So you're welcome to give
Mhm,
people in the chat your blessings. Just
mhm,
say welcome in
yeah.
yeah, blessings,
everybody.
blessings.
Blessings
And
and
I'll
also
let you
things.
wanted,
continue.
yeah, I also wanted to say for anybody come. Oh,
Hello,
hey,
Christina.
Christina, Christina,
Hi, Christina says.
do you wanna come
What
in?
they need is to communicate. Energy for the spirit is different. Yeah, well, it's an electrical energy. It's an energy that's becomes part of the universe. It becomes a much more powerful than our physical body. So everything about them changes. How they think, how they act. Yes, when your parents and your family and that guy, they're still the same people. They still remember you. They still love you. It's just they have got a completely different body, and it
Mhm.
takes time for them to go through that procedure. You know, they don't just die
Yeah.
and suddenly go to the spirit realm and everything's fine. They have to go through a stage, like stages, to
Right.
understand it. You know what I mean? So
Christina,
Yeah.
we put the link in the group. If you want to pull that link, if you want to come in, feel free to come in. Also, wanted to say before we go any further, anybody
What?
just coming in or watching the replay, if you hear us talking over each other, we're not doing it on purpose. We're not being rude. There's a delay. So, what we're hearing and what you're hearing, there's a delay. And we think the person has stopped talking and they didn't, or they've stopped talking, but the sound keeps going in our ears. So just to let you know, that's what's going on.
Yeah. We don't mean it.
Yeah.
See, the
it
spirits
is a
were the
real
ones
thing.
that told me what to use. Remember, Sherry, when I started this journey and we
Yeah,
started getting talking, I was
they
telling
told
you
her
all
what
you
what
guys. It
crystals
was the
and what
spirits,
herbs to
Sherry, that
use.
told me.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
told her.
I
Yep.
had no idea what. I think it was. I can't remember the herb now. That I would need to look back the live. I think it was. I can't remember. I need to look back alive. But it was them that told me to get amethyst, and then I think it was actually what's the incense? Dragon's blood. That's what it was, or
Yeah,
something like that.
it was,
I
yeah,
had to Google
amethyst
it
and
and see what it
dragon's blood.
was. So ask the
Mm-hmm.
spirits when you're investigating it. You'll hear me do it often. I'll ask them, what do you need? Because they will tell you. They told me,
Yeah,
they
Mm-hmm.
told me to get some
Mm-hmm.
that's what I
amethyst,
do
and I
when
do
they come
believe
here.
it
I'm
was
like, what
dragon's
would you
blood.
like? What would you like me to give out to you? And they'll say, can I have a bit of cake? Can I have a sandwich? Can I
Yeah.
have a drink of juice? Oh, could you put your tourmaline crystal out? Can you do this? Can you do that? All of these things benefit them. So,
For the yeah, for the
guys,
people
if you
that's
don't mind if I turn my camera off and eat because I got my food
No,
and
of
I'm
course,
it's
when you
sitting there
go,
going
that's
stone
okay. No,
cold.
of course.
you
Of course, when
no
you go.
yeah, and you can eat with your camera on, and if it's
Yeah,
not
of
gonna bother
course.
you, it's not gonna bother us.
Yeah, no
Okay,
Are you
bother
sure?
us.
we all eat.
Okay,
We
yeah,
all
Of
no,
course.
eat.
I'd been out
We
doing some problem solving with my family and stuff today, so I didn't get to have dinner because I was there.
yeah
So
You
I
eat
didn't want
yeah.
to eat
snacks.
on the show and
Yeah.
look rude.
No, that's not rude because we
Christina's
all
saying,
know.
ladies, look. Christina's needing help tonight, definitely.
Yeah, I
Christina,
had that.
if you put, yeah,
Yeah, I saw that
yeah, that's
Yeah,
earlier.
okay.
But
amethyst, yeah, really good, really really
I've got
good.
yeah,
the oil ready. I brought
and
it down to show you.
for
It's all
anybody
ready.
that mm-hmm. And for anybody that's watching that don't
Okay,
understand,
yeah.
when you're giving an offering to a spirit, like Sherry mentioned, whether it's cake or cookie or anything, how that works is because I've had people ask me, well, they obviously aren't coming through and grabbing the cake and taking it into the spirit world.
No, you don't see
No,
a cake
no.
floating.
What
No.
what happens is
Flying
is
through
they
the air.
take everything has energy in it. This drink has energy in it. So if I sit it down and I give it as an offering to my spirit, they can pull the energy from the drink, from the water, from tea, from coffee, whatever it is, cake,
Yeah.
whatever. They pull that energy from that
Yeah.
item, and that's how they receive it.
That's why I always say I kill two birds with one stone. Obviously not with chocolate cake or anything, but if I've made a meal or something and they're eating it, it's going to be sat there and left. So my dog has it. So it's killing two birds with one
Yeah.
stone. They've both been fed. They're both happy. You know what I mean? It's
That's
really
right.
It's
cool.
the
But they still
dedication as
taste and
well.
feel. They still, it's still, even though they're just taking energy and they're not physically picking it up and drinking it that way, it still tastes the way that it is. Yeah, it'll
Right.
still taste like that chocolate cake. It'll still
It's like
taste like that thing.
respect.
Because
Mm-hmm.
it,
If your grandparents came to your door, you would probably welcome them in and maybe ask them to stay for dinner. So it's that type of
well,
respect.
that's what I do. That's like you've noticed
You
this, Sister Drew. At Christmas, I do
sitting
Christmas
down
dinner
to
and
eat
Christmas
and
puddings and
you
everything
want to
for
just
them.
pay homage to them, you just give them a bit of your food, and it's like a yeah.
Did you hear that?
Um, oh, I
I
was
swear
reading
Yeah, you
I heard
are.
Eli's
like a woman
message.
whispering.
Oh, it was maybe
No.
me because I was reading Eli's comment. I was like,
Oh,
mystical, y'all
okay.
don't want
Yeah.
dead energy either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also too, I've heard people that give like they'll take like you don't want to do real money because if you make a copy of it, it's considered counterfeiting money. That's a federal offense. Don't do that. But if you have like monopoly money, that you can actually make copies of the monopoly money, put it on the altar and give it to it as an offering, because even though they can't physically use the money to buy things, they in the spirit world they can use that energy for bartering. You know how
Well,
some
there,
people
for
are
example,
vampires.
William
Well,
and Liam are clearing an old building at the weekend, and Liam came home with, I do believe, it's not Russian money, it's some other money, but it's not worth a lot. But I tell him he collects money, Liam, and I says, give me it and I'll put it on my altar. On my altar, I've got dollars and everything there. Um, what you call them, thinking of others, had sent Liam American dollars away back a couple of years ago. And when we were doing his room,
Mm-hmm.
we didn't know what to do with them. So I've got them sitting under
Mm-hmm.
my statues. You can use money for
Yeah.
any other countries and things, guys.
Yeah, because
Yes.
okay, see what happened when you give the offering of the money and they take that energy, it's almost like how we barter here. Okay, you know how vampires, if you're in a big crowd and there's such things as energy vampires,
Yeah,
they take your energy without asking you. Okay,
yeah,
so some people, if you offer like the money to the spirits, they can use that to barter because they have more energy and someone else needs
right,
it, and they can
right,
use it. They can use that energy that way.
yeah.
So I still trying to figure out how to pronounce that name. WELRD world. We got the
Weird
world.
world. Yeah, weird
Weird.
world. Weird
Weird.
world. It's just because he's done it capitals and then small
Okay,
writing.
so is weird world, are we referring to a he or she? So I'll say he
I
or
don't
she.
know. Are you he
Okay.
or are you she or are we just to call you an it?
Because some of the names you can't tell. When I do some readings,
Yeah,
like when I do a card pull and they have a name and there's no way to tell, when I'm
I
giving the reading,
know.
I'm
It's
like,
hard.
did I say he? Do I say she? Do I
You have
say
to just trust
he
your guides.
slash
That's the
she?
situation.
Yeah. So, oh, it's
He,
a
okay,
he.
he.
It's a he. I need to take a
Perfect.
picture of that.
You've
So if
got to be
anybody
politically
ever,
correct these days as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
Yeah, you've
So
got to be careful.
if I'm doing a card reading, an oracle card reading, because every now and then, like once a week or something, I'll throw that in there. Put on there what if you're a he or a she, so I
Yeah.
know.
Welcome in,
It makes
Christopher.
it so much
Weird World said
easier.
I meant to do that. He likes that. We need to keep an eye
Hey,
on you. You're
ghost.
trouble. I'm only kidding. Welcome in, Christopher.
Yeah. Welcome,
Yeah.
Christopher.
Hey,
Yeah, I just
Chris.
think it's important. I'm doing a live on Thursday night. I was going to tell you all about. I was hoping that you would all come in, especially Christina. And it's just really to talk a bit about what's going on and why we all need to stay spiritually strong, especially this month and things, and maybe be called upon to help people like Christina. It's just, I think the world right now is another change. If you know what I mean, like every so often the world will go through a change. Example,
It's
COVID,
going
we
through a
went through a big
shift.
change.
It's
Wars,
going through a
yeah, it goes through a
universal
shift.
shift.
Yeah, I definitely
Hmm.
think there is another shift going on. And plus, a couple of YouTubers that I watch that they say that they basically they astral travel and help the angels to fight on the other side. So a lot of them are saying, and a lot of them are doing meditation music and things like that. So a lot of them are saying that there's a spiritual
Spiritual
battle
warriors.
going on above right now. So
Yes,
we,
spiritual
as
warriors.
spiritually open people, are feeling it. So I
Our,
think
uh,
that with
our brother Lou is a spiritual warrior. He goes over to the other side
yeah,
to fight battles and that.
yeah, Louis does it. And I don't know if maybe Louis would come up and help us to talk about it, but there's meant to be really crazy battles going on above right now, and it's people that's spiritually open feel it,
Yeah.
and the ones like us that want to help the spirits, we're going to be needed to help the fallout, if you like, from all
Mm.
that.
Y'all, my sister too. Both of my
Well, that's why
sisters.
I do a
We've
lot of
always said
wrestling.
we'll be the cleanup crew. Is how we put it. We'll
Yeah,
be the cleanup crew
Yes.
on
yeah, and I think
on
that's all you can
helping.
really do. But I do feel as if
Mhm.
we've been leading up to something like this.
Oh yeah, because
Christina.
the veil is so thin, and more is coming through, and more needs to be crossed over, and we all have a way of crossing over spirits. But Christina has a special way because she does thousands at a time.
Yeah,
So we all need to get with her because she's going to show us how to do that instead of the way we do it, just one or two at a
yeah,
time. So I'll be excited,
yeah. We definitely need to
about
help
that.
do our part. That's why we do this. It's not just to ghost hunt. Ghost hunting's great. Going out talking talking to the spirits and things. I love it. But deep down, it is all about those spirits, and it's about the spirits that particularly need help. That's out there in that mist that Eli was in. You know, it's important.
Mhm. Mhm.
I would hate to
Yep.
think that any of my loved ones was stuck
Yeah, but
somewhere. You know.
they're not just in that mist out there. They're actually physically, they're not just in that mist where Eli was. They're stuck in this realm as well. Some of them are stuck here,
Yeah.
being tortured constantly over what's happened to them. It's not just in where Eli went to. Even in our physical world here, they're walking about among us and confused and trying to search to where to go and things like that. So it's needed everywhere. And you know, aura and stuff like Darius is very connected to the heaven side of things because he's of the light.
Yeah.
So when he comes here, you know, I'm aware of the battles that are going up in heaven. There are, from what I've been told, there
Yeah.
are meant to be white and black angels that are fighting. There's supposed to be certain energies from the lower dimensions, like the negative dimensions, that are fighting with the higher
Yeah.
division. And there's a massive war over who's got the most power and who's going to reign. That's what's going on
See,
up there.
the angels even argue, guys. It's part of it, part of the
Mhm.
world and part of nature. It's just the way it is. Even the spirits argue. Even
Christina.
the angels.
Christina
Friday, Miss
says.
Drew, maybe we could get together. I figure the way we end. Sorry, Misty, on you go. sis,
No, no, no,
sorry.
no, no. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, it's okay, on you go.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you go. You go.
Go
I'll
ahead, Drew.
understand you better.
It says Friday. Okay, Christina says Friday. Miss Drew. Maybe we. It sounds funny, Miss Drew. Hum does. Hey, Drew. Okay, Friday, Miss Drew. Maybe we can get together. I figure the way my energy is, I'm going to do one of you girls at a time to teach you guys. So maybe, Drew, we could do this Friday. You think it'd be
Definitely,
easier one on
Christina. I
one
don't
instead of
mind.
all of us together? I would think
Yeah, I
just
don't
do
mind.
one off, yeah, off, on the private chat on here on the StreamYard, so she can just show us all.
Yeah.
That's what I would think.
Yeah, I don't mind. Either way you think, Christina,
Yeah,
just let us know.
whatever
I could
whatever's
send out a
easiest.
link and all be on StreamYard, yeah. Whatever's easiest for you. Yeah,
Okay, she
sure,
says I
definitely.
usually
Just
do it
let me
around
know.
9 my time, my crossover, and we could do it together. I think she's just talking to you first, Drew. I'm not sure.
Well, that would maybe be the best time to teach us. Let us come in and watch you do it, and then if we've got
Yeah.
any questions after it, maybe that'd be a great way to teach us. I don't
Mhm.
mind
I
coming
do
in
think
late.
that they
I'm up
need
to
that,
about 5,
Christina,
6 in the
because
morning anyway.
crossing over spirits is a really serious thing, and sometimes it can go wrong if it's not done right. I really do think that they need to watch what you do first and things like that. Then
Yeah.
get them to help you. Like definitely, like yeah, still come up on the show. Maybe you could like all talk in a group privately and do it privately, and then all of you do the show in the evening. And you do it together, at least then you're seeing if they're doing it right. They're feeling more confident. So I think if you've done it one on one, they're gonna flap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think if they're all together, they'll feel more confident.
Mhm.
I can even come in there because the way that you do it is completely different to how I do it. So I know that I'm doing my crossover on Friday, but mine's a little bit more complex because it's where I put the circle and I light the candles in a circle. I do loads of stuff when I do the spirits in my home because I
She
don't
Yeah.
says,
want the energy of my home staying on them.
yeah.
So
She says yes, one at a time because my energy is low this month. Well, that's understandable. So I do crossover
Yeah.
full time, full times or maybe 4 times a week. So I figured I could do one teaching on one of these days. Well, yeah, do one teaching on each one of these days.
Just
Oh,
let me
okay, I
know,
see what she's
Christina. I
saying.
don't mind anytime you're ready.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Anytime you're ready is fine with me.
Yeah, because
And
mine's
as I said,
totally
if it is
different.
evening time at yours, I don't mind. Yeah. I'm up to about 5, 6 in the morning anyway, so I don't mind. That's when I prefer it because this place is quiet. So I can do anything I need to do down here. It's not a problem.
Mine's a whole
I'm
different
gonna do
situation.
like
Mine has to be
okay, weird
off.
world.
Oh, I'm going to get light some
Like some
sage.
sage.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine. That's good.
It's a good idea, yeah. See, we tend to like, any room I go in, I like 8-man sense anyway. Except for at night, sometimes William doesn't like it if I'm upstairs. But any room I go in, I always like incense, so it just goes with the territory. But it's always a positive thing to do if you're watching somebody, especially when we do start talking about maybe crazy locations or crazy energies. It's always a good idea to protect yourself because you don't know what's lurking around. There, that live stream we did last week, there was an energy right here, remember? Right here. So you just don't know when they're going to pop in. I do believe that was my son-in-law, though. Yeah, that one you've seen, Sherry, yeah.
And then I done it the other day. I put candles and stuff on when I was on with pups because we were talking about the reefs, even though I know that they can't physically come through the magic that we do because we're not doing anything negative and we're not calling up on them. You never want to take that risk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it can still cause something else. And that's why I still have my candles and stuff lit in incense, just to be safe.
Yeah.
Okay, so
remember, spirits piggyback onto other spirits and things, so you've got to be careful.
Yeah, so Christina said, yes, which is why mystical, we need to do ours a separate day when you can be outdoors somewhere. Yeah, I'll wait with like one day, like when you're ready, and like say if Lee's like at the gym or something like that. I mean, I can always just go stand on the outside of the property. For anybody listening, mine is a whole different situation. So mine has to be done. Yeah, mine has to be done totally outside of certain things. Christina knows. Yeah. Drew knows, Sherry knows, but but yeah, mine's a whole different ball game.
Yeah, it's always important. I mean, I've got usually have my wee pyramid and things sitting. I've not got my pyramid sitting today. It's over there, but I've got my little crystal ball and things that I keep sitting. So it's important.
I keep all my stuff
I love
here.
My trinkets. Yeah, I just love my trinkets around me. My two
Tiger's
little witches are over on the big altar. Yeah, that's the same as yours. Tiger's eye, mine's is obsidian.
Yeah, and then I have more.
Welcome in, our Aura Amen.
Check this. Oh, welcome in. Check this one out.
What make you talk with your spine's head on a stick? Oh, I take it you don't like witches.
Make you talk with your spines.
Go and cackle. I'm mystical. We are very peaceful, I'll have you know. We do not deserve that head on a stick.
Is that meant to be bad for us?
No,
what are they saying?
No, sorry, he's not welcome here.
Okay, well, y'all are mods, you know what to do.
Yeah, I've got the power, guys. Bless you, Mr. Lee.
Oh, you heard him all the way in the other room.
Yeah.
Drew said, bless you, Mr. Lee. Yeah, Lee had bought this for me a while back.
That's lovely, isn't it? Oh, that's nice.
Crystal. Yeah, it's crystal.
Oh, is that all carved in at the side?
Mm-hmm.
It's lovely.
Here, let me see if I can get it closer up.
Oh, that's lovely. I bet it's heavy.
It is. It is.
It's nice.
Yep.
It is beautiful, isn't it, Weird World? God bless Lee, Christina's saying.
So...
Bless your little cotton socks. Yeah, so what else have we got coming up? Let's think. We've got Ghost Squad. I don't know if we're on Ghost Squad tomorrow night or not. Are we, Christopher? If you're in the chat still, let me know. If we are, we'll be on Ghost Squad tomorrow night. We'll be live. Where else? Friday night as well. We'll go live and we'll do some... Let's see, Christopher, you're live on Friday night to do another reveal. Are you not? I'll need to look up the Ghost Squad Scotland schedule, guys. I'm not sure what's all coming up on that.
Okay. So for
we're also talking to Christina next week. Is it next week we're talking to Christina? Or are we getting Eli next
Tuesday.
Week?
Yeah, Tuesday.
Tuesday,
coming up Tuesday. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got Christine on Tuesday. That'll be good.
Yeah.
Remember,
So
guys, if any of yous want to come in for a chat, just comment under Mystical's video. If yous want to come up and chit chat,
mhm.
tell us your story.
Yeah, if Louis was here, we would pull him up because didn't you say he had a lot of interesting stuff to say?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and just so everybody else knows too, when people come into the chat, I don't put up with no bullcrap whatsoever. If they're talking negative about us or, like that person there, immediately banned, their comments removed. That's
Yeah. There's no need
unnecessary.
for it.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're going to stay positive, but they're gone. So
Yep.
they're not coming back in.
Weird
So,
World, if you ever feel that you want to come up for a chat with us, even a bit of a debate or anything, come up. You know? And
yeah.
everybody's welcome to come up and talk to us about their path. It doesn't need to be the same path as us. It doesn't even need to be about the paranormal. It could be about UFOs, Sasquatch, anything strange and
Mhm.
unknown.
Yep. Any experiences you've had or questions that you've had?
Oh, we've got Stephanie coming. Do you want me to organise Stephanie to come up on your channel? I do believe it was Saturday we were talking about her coming up. Would you like it to be your channel and we'll get your views up more? I don't
That's
mind.
up to you. You don't need them on your channel to get you some more views.
No, I'm fine. I want to try and get your views up because you deserve to be up as high as us. And I don't
Aww.
need them. So we could do it
Aww.
on your channel. Oh, we could do it on your channel on Saturday or something. I think it was Saturday I told her in the chat. Because we
What
all
time?
want to talk to her anyway,
Yeah.
so it doesn't matter whose channel it is, I don't believe.
Okay.
You know?
What time were y'all talking about?
Well, I'll have a word with her back on, I think it was Twitter I was talking to her on, and I'll organise it with you. But
Okay. Yeah, because
anytime she
the
wants.
later, the better. Because in the day, you know how I'm always
Yeah,
like
on a Saturday.
gone.
Yeah, it would
Yeah,
be
the
better. It would be
weekend.
later
So,
on anyway. Yeah, I wouldn't mind. Yeah, later on's
okay.
fine with us.
Whatever you decide, whatever you set up, it's okay with me. You know that.
Okay, I'll ask Stephanie what she prefers, as long as it's past probably 6 o'clock or something your time.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
that'll be
fine.
fine. Because normally that's when I go do all of my, going to estate sales and all that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
all the fun
For
stuff, guys. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, all that fun stuff for all my Macari and see that all of this stuff back here that I do and sell and all of that goes on Etsy. And I do have a few other things on Etsy, but 80% or maybe 90% is all this. And then like when I go to the like garage sales or estate sales or things like that, and I buy things, then those go on either eBay or Macari.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Remember and check out all the little statues, guys. They're beautiful. And I'll grab my little Freya and a little mystical. They're over here.
okay. What is Christina? What's Christina saying here? All of you should be way above where you're at. Christina says, all young guys, and don't forget to watch the Saturday videos, and I'm putting out about the spiritual war. Oh, good. And remember, I put myself as the main character
With the
because that's
mystical.
how they showed it.
That's little Freya,
But we
sorry.
sure. Okay, sorry. Go ahead now. Go ahead, Drew.
I was just showing them little Freya. This one's little mystical.
Okay.
This is the one that's got
Yeah.
sore fingers. She lost her fingers gardening.
Well, she didn't use it on lose them on transportation.
No,
That's for
she
sure.
survived. She survived all the way to Scotland intact, didn't you?
Yeah.
She's got her own hair. Look, she's got her own hair and everything. She's lovely.
Yeah, I have all the other ones up over there. I had them back here for a while, and then I moved them over there because sometimes, depending on what I get, I have to rearrange somewhat. Those I
Nice.
try to keep all the same because I know exactly if I'm looking for something, if I'm working on a powder, if I'm working on an oil, whatever, I know exactly the spot it's at, and I can just because there's 3 layers back. Y'all are just seeing the front layer, but there's
Yeah.
actually three and 4 layers deep.
Wow.
So I know where everything is sitting in its place, and I can just reach back and get a certain one and pull it up because I know exactly where it's at. So I
You
try
do
not
get
to
to know where
rearrange that.
things are, though, don't you? I mean, mine's is not as much as you. I've got my little round one that's got all my oils on it that I
Yeah,
use, my mixing oils, if you like.
yeah. Because mine
But
actually starts in front of me and goes all the way around.
and guys, she collects most of that herself. It's not store bought. She does go out and forage for it.
Yeah, yeah, I go forage, but and that's the reason I wanted to do the magical garden too, so that I can start doing tinctures and the elixirs and the cold infusions and the
They look
fermenting
delicious. They
and
definitely
the
look good.
hot infusions and all that I can show from some of the stuff that I get. Yeah, and that one that you're seeing there, you don't drink that one. You just use like so
You
much of
dilute
it,
it.
and you add it to other things and
Right.
to vinegars and to the fizzy sodas and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So
Looks
that's kind of a
delicious.
starter that you need that to go, from there.
Right. To look
Kind of
at it.
like
It's
when
not.
we do workings, you need this, you need this, you need
Yeah.
this to make this. So
Right.
that's kind of
Okay.
how
It
that.
looks delicious, guys. Honestly, looks very. Looks as if you drunk it, you would just never be thirsty again.
I know it. Yeah, every
Doesn't
time
it?
I walk by, I gotta get in and shake it because
That's like me with
I'm
those
still
oils every
feeding
time
it.
I pass them.
Yeah, because you have to feed them every so often, and then so you put it after they're completely ready. You put them in the refrigerator until you need them, and then
Right.
when you need them, however much you take out, then you replace others back in. It doesn't have to be the same fruit going back in, but you
All
got to
right.
replace. You have to replace the sugar, and you have to replace the
So then it keeps it fresh all the
the
time, then,
water.
doesn't
Yeah,
it?
because see, when
Yeah.
you even though you add sugar, by the time that it gets all ready, the sugar's not actually even sugar anymore.
Right. It's all
So it's not like
fermented.
you're drinking, yeah, the sugar in it, but as you take out, then you have to replenish it, top it off, put it back in the refrigerator, and then you don't use that one again until another day.
Yeah. So
That's the
another couple
reason
of
I
days.
made different ones. That way, there's different flavors that can go into different
Yeah. They
ones.
look delicious. They
Yeah,
look delicious, guys.
yeah.
What
But
kind of things do you do, Weird World? I've not been able to check your channel out yet. What's your specific topic, if you've got a specific topic? Mine's is paranormal and witchcraft. So, is there anything that you're particularly interested in? Specifically, not particularly. Let us know a bit about yourself, what you're interested in. Maybe we can cover that topic one night.
yeah, that's a good idea. Because we all
Just
have
give us
different
ideas as
paths,
well,
different
guys.
things that we do. So that's like, okay, so like me, I do the workings. I do the how-to videos on how to empower yourself, how to make oils, how to make powders, things like that. I do my own hand soap. I do paintings.
She can do
Um,
just about everything, guys.
the
She's amazing.
garden, yeah, it's like there is so many, my lip glosses, and then with all of the crystals that we go dig up our own, crystals, the quartz crystals, the amethyst crystals, the a lot of sometimes we'll run across the citrines, the smoky quartz crystals.
Right.
So we go to the mines and we dig those up ourselves. So we go out and we forage a lot of stuff from the mountains, since we're in the mountains of Tennessee.
Yeah.
So we're always
Oh,
going and
I know
going
what I
and
seen
going and
tonight.
going. What?
We're walking up the road, and do you want to know what I seen tonight? Perfect thistles. A big. Where was I? Was I with my dad? Oh, I was with Liam and Zach walking round. Oh, you should see these thistles. They're beautiful. I'll need to get some. I'll show you some. Sorry for interrupting.
No, actually, I was finished. I make my own lip glosses with the stones in them. See?
Yeah, they're nice.
So yeah, so I do so many things. My husband makes the witch sculptures, all kinds of sculptures. He does them out of the polymer clay, because it's
He's just
clay, and
starting
then
over. That's okay,
yeah.
Weird World. We all have to
Oh well,
start
we wish
somewhere,
you
buddy.
luck. I had a bad teacher, random. So what is it that weird world? What is it? What is it that you're actually into? Did I miss that in there somewhere?
So you
No,
said that you post like random videos. So what are the random videos that you
Oh,
post up? Are you into music? Are
oh,
you into strange things, countries,
walking.
crafts.
walking, adventures, anything, crafts? What are you into? Well, surely
Yeah.
if you're putting videos up, there's something that you're into.
We're not being nosy. It's just giving us something to chat
Something to
We just
about.
talk
find you
about, yeah.
intriguing. New people. We do it to all of our new people. We ask them what they're into and what they're up to, and
Yeah.
Yeah, they get to know us.
black
We get to know
magic, white
them.
magic. He does black and white magic, is what
Oh,
All
he's
right,
saying.
okay.
good,
There it
good,
is.
good.
Strange
Oh,
things.
well, we
Just
wish.
really research then, isn't it? Research and
But we're
find
paranormal
your
and
own
we're witches.
path.
We like the strange. We do like the
Yeah.
strange, so that's interesting.
You have to know, in order to be able to help people and to know what to do, you have to know both sides. I get that question a lot. Do you do black magic? I'm like, you have to know. You have to know all about it. How can you beat something or learn something if you don't know about both sides?
Knowledge is power,
Both,
yeah. You've got to
you
know
know,
the
the
different
yin and
balance.
yang thing, day and night,
And a lot
light
of
and
people get
dark.
confused as well. Remember, black doesn't necessarily mean evil. That's where
No.
people go wrong. The black doesn't mean evil. It just means the darkness and you've got the light. It's the balance. You wouldn't have the light if it wasn't for the darkness. So you've got to incorporate both.
Well, we come
And
from the darkness, if you think about it, being inside our mum for
Yeah,
9 months, then going down the tunnel and whatever,
yep.
we come out in
It's a
darkness when we go to bed.
conception.
What do? We turn our lights off and we're in darkness, but we wake up positive the next day. How is it negative? It's not.
Yeah.
It's how people perceive it and use it. If you're going to sit
oh,
there and do
such
negative
strange
things,
things.
then you're going to have negative things happen, aren't you? But
Yeah. Some people actually
Yeah,
believe that you can see better in the darkness.
oh
So
yeah,
it's
I
just,
do. I
yeah,
prefer dark.
it's not really it's not that anything is evil when they say black. It just means that it's black or it's dark. It's not
and
evil.
we
Evil's a
don't
separate word.
we don't judge anybody. Everybody has their own path. Just like
Yeah.
that person that came in that we banned them,
I've
they're
had this.
automatically judging us without even knowing us. That kind of
Yeah.
stuff I don't even deal with. I don't waste my
They were the
time.
ones
I don't
talking
lose no
violent, want to put my head on
sleep.
a stick.
Yeah, I don't
I've
even
had
lose
I've
sleep
had
over it.
I've had this black spirit that's followed me around since birth. That's what Weird Welsh
All
just said.
right. See, that's interesting if you would like to
Hmm.
talk about it. You'd need to give us more information and maybe come and tell your story before we
The thing
could
is, when
help
you
you.
see a black shadow, it doesn't necessarily mean it's evil. You can
Yeah,
get them
because
just disguise themselves
Christina,
as a black
Yeah.
shadow. Some of them can't form a pigment or a feature, so they look darker or light.
Or
yeah, because
some of them have
Christina's
been injured
asking.
and they don't want to scare you by letting you see their injured state. So they just go black.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because she says, is it just a dark shadow figure or an evil spirit? Yeah,
Do
because
you feel as if it's
I've
evil?
seen
Do
some
you
evil
get that
spirits that
feeling
are,
when it's around?
yeah, I've seen some evil spirits that pass themselves
No,
off as
because the
kids.
things that have happened to me, I know you will find out.
I don't
All
quite
right.
understand it.
What does that mean? That would find
I
out.
don't know what you mean. It's talk and actually see this thing a lot. Okay. Are you scared that what if you
Now,
talk
what
about
he's
it
saying,
that
if he
it'll come
spoke
to us?
about it, then something would happen
Yeah.
to us because it doesn't like him talking about. Maybe that's what he's meaning.
Right. Okay.
If that is
Keep
like that, then
yourself
it's more
safe
than
then,
likely
yeah.
not something positive. If it's attacking you, if you try talking to people, it can't be very positive.
Reach out if you need to reach out, especially if it gets too much. Don't be scared. Reach out after
You're
the
not a
stream,
bother.
even
We're
if you want.
paranormal investigators. We work this every day. You're not a bother at all. That's what we're here to do. We're here to give you
Yeah.
advice. It's
What
gonna
a
help
lot of
you
people don't
understand.
realise, guys, is we don't just do things out on the public to record. We do help people behind the scenes as well. Sherry and I specifically have helped a lot of people behind the scenes. We've not knew Mystical long enough yet to actually be in that situation, but if the situation does come up, we can help people. We've helped a few people. So if you need to talk about it and try and work through it, don't hesitate to mail us after the stream, and the three of us will help you.
Trauma, it attached itself to. So you've
Right.
been through a lot through life, and you had an energy that's attached itself. So it
To that
sounds
trauma.
like it's not something very good. I'm not necessarily. It's not. I'm not saying it's demonic. Not at all. Like you can just get
Yeah.
an
To
unhappy
be
spirit
trusted.
that attaches to
Yeah.
you because you're unhappy. Like it's very important. I know, like it's hard to talk about it, and just like Sister Drew said, we are here if you want to talk behind the scenes. We're not judgmental or anything like that. We have,
Yeah.
like
Even
Sister
if you
Drew
just
said,
need
we've helped a
somebody to
lot of people
talk to
behind the scenes.
about it, you know, it's up to yourself.
Yeah.
There's no pressure, weird world. Okay?
When you're ready.
Yeah.
Christina
We
says,
just get a little bit concerned when people say things like that. We get a bit concerned
Yeah.
about you when you say about dark, you know.
Don't ever suffer in silence, especially if you have came to this stream hoping for help or hoping to understand it, what's happening to you a little bit more. That is
You're
what we're
very
here
welcome.
for. That is why we do what we do. It's to help the spirits and to help people like yourself who's maybe struggling with what's happening to them. So don't ever hesitate.
I think
Anybody
a lot of
watching
people are
back these
confused on what
streams,
we're
just
actually
reach
here
out.
for, Sister Drew, to be honest. Because if you think about it all, some of these other channels and that, they are all about investigating when they should be about the clients as well, you know what I mean? And so a lot of them don't want to do clients. So they think that
Yeah.
we're all like that, but we're not. I've gone to people's houses. I've removed very bad energies from people's houses.
Yeah.
Me and Sister Drew have sat behind the scenes and spoke to people that have been attacked and had really bad things being done to
We
them.
tried to help him for 6 months
We're
and
here
he
for
didn't
everything.
want to
We're not here
listen.
to get famous or to get big or to be the best investigators. We're here because we love our investigations, but we also care and love our clients and our
We
spirits.
know how
We want to
scary
help
it
as
can
much as we
be when
can.
there's spirits around you.
Yeah.
You know, especially
Yeah.
these two ladies who see them. We know that it can be scary. So if anything's ever
Ability
happened to
outside.
anybody, even watching back the stream, reach out to Mystical, leave a comment under the video, and we'll see what we can do to help you. Don't ever be scared and think you are alone. That's
Yeah,
what
'cause see,
we're
Yeah,
here
and
for.
I don't think that we're going to judge you and think you're crazy because believe us, well, I'm sure we've seen a lot of
No.
mad things. Even Sister Mystical's outside of her house. Well,
She's seen some crazy
she knows her
things.
stuff. She knows.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Probably more than any of us, to be honest. She can see what we can't see.
I think we're all good in our own way, and we've all had our experiences. But she's just got it living right on her doorstep.
He's woke up. I have
You
woke up with long
know what I
nail
mean?
marks. See, that's it wanting attention. That's it wanting something off you. It's trying to get your
Dear,
attention for
you've
something.
woke up with long nail marks.
Snakes had
Snake
my feet.
hisses at my feet.
Your feet.
That don't sound good at all.
It doesn't sound good at all.
yeah, that's an evil
The
one.
snake, especially the snake hissing, that's normally a sign of something not too great.
Yeah. Where are you? In the UK or are you in the US? Let us know where in the world you are.
Woody's back.
Not that it matters. It doesn't matter. We can help
No, it don't. We
anybody.
can still
Though.
help you even if you are in the States.
The US.
We're in the US.
Yeah.
If you do want help and you're serious about getting rid of what's next to you, definitely leave a comment after the stream. We can do
See,
it. See what we can do to help you.
A lot of people think you actually have to be there, but you don't, because things can be done remotely. You don't have to be in that same, room or house or state. You can do things all the way across in another,
Yeah.
like a different town, city, state. Where I mean, you don't have to be just right there in order to get help. Christina says, I would try this. Just something I've heard other people say when they have attachments. Rub apple cider vinegar on their stomach and say God's prayer, the one that's like to release.
The
The
evil.
prayer's the one that's like to release you from evil. Okay.
Yeah. Interesting.
Depending
Oh,
on the
weird
sort of
world.
spirit,
I
Yeah,
if
am
we
we
say
yours.
it's like bound it to a certain area, we can remove it from a certain area. But depending on the energy of what the spirit is, there may need to be somebody that physically goes to his house to
Yeah,
complete it.
you've got to
Because
protect
if it's a
yourself
negative
after it.
energy, just do what we do online, we'll be able to protect him, and we'll be able to like prolong it so that it's not doing everything direct, but it's not going to get
Give
rid of it. You're
you
going to need to be
advice what to
somebody's going to
use
need to be
after it to
physically
keep
there.
yourself
Yeah,
safe.
somebody's going to need to go in
Yeah.
physically and do that, or you're going to need to get like a priest or somebody in if it's really bad. But until we've actually got to know you and we get it, because it may not be that, it may just be a spirit mucking around with you and hissing at you, trying to scare you and that. But if you're saying you're getting scratch marks and stuff like that, that don't sound right to me.
Yeah, it doesn't sound good, does it?
No,
Mm-hmm.
no.
And one for
We can
Astro, I
do a lot.
think.
We can protect you. We can help you, but
Yeah.
you would still need to
Um,
seek a professional
weird.
to come in and
Yeah,
completely
weird
remove.
world. Have you had help before? Have you had a paranormal investigator go into your home or anything like that? Have you reached out to anybody that has helped you yet?
Yeah, that's what I was
No,
thinking,
no,
Christina. One for
never.
Astro.
Yeah,
No,
like on
never.
a messenger call and stuff like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. No, never.
Hmm. Are you close
Okay.
to
Have you not reached
East?
out to people because you've not felt comfortable? You've not felt comfortable reaching out to anybody? You felt a bit weary. I'm not being funny, but I can't blame you because not everybody you
Yeah, a
come
lot of
across
people
is
would
always
laugh
legit.
at you and things. We
You know
understand
what I
that.
mean? Yeah.
This is the first
Mhm.
time you've reached out asking for help,
And
then it's
not
understandable
every
that you're weary.
professional is professional. Not everybody is what they say they are either.
And
Some
some
people have
people want
messed up
money,
people.
and that's not
Yeah,
something
yeah,
we take.
yeah. We do not charge for things like this. A life is more important than money.
Have you got kids and things in the house as well, or are you alone? It's important that if you have kids there that you get help before it does start to go on to the
To
kids.
prolong. A lot of times, if it's a very negative energy, they will use the child to be the one to get what they want. So
Yeah.
And I would suggest also too, um, put
no
up some
kids.
cameras. Put
Okay,
up
that's
like
good.
a camera or something, in the house. Try to catch as much evidence as you can, so that if you
Yeah,
decide
definitely.
later you want to call in a paranormal investigator, they're going to ask you right off the bat. Do you have anything to show us?
Evidence.
And yeah,
Any
yeah,
proof? What's going on? That way they know what they're dealing with too, because investigators also go in and they're putting their life in there too, and they want to know what they're
Christina.
stepping into. And so it's a good thing to like get a she said he says no kids, so it's a good thing to try to get as much as you can on video, um, even if you're using your phone and
that's good.
you're setting it
Good.
up,
He's
or
got a camera
So
whatever.
coming.
you've got a camera coming. That's really good. Yeah,
Okay.
like mystical saying. Like even when I've had house investigations where people have reached out to me, I've said, "Oh, I need to see evidence first." And it like Sister Mystical saying, you can pick up a lot from watching the videos. You can also get to know the person that's in the video as well, like yourself. It kind of helps us to
Yeah.
establish the whole scene sort of thing, okay? And
Because they
evidence is
can
really
see if you've
important.
got
A
anything
lot of
attached.
investigators will say, I'm not entertaining you if you ain't got evidence that it's on it. A lot of investigators won't even entertain you normally. You know what I mean? They'll just be like, no, if you,
Yep.
yeah,
Plug in your
Definitely,
phone, set your
Christina.
phone up, plug it in where the battery's not going to, where you're pulling the charge, off your wall, and then just let it run all night, facing your bed. Now a lot of people make this mistake and they're only showing like a part. Say like if most things happen if you're in bed, most people will set it up and they only see like part of the bed. You need to see the whole thing. The investigators want to see the whole thing to know there's nothing hidden, not
Yeah.
because they want to also prove that it's not fake, that it's not a mental issue. So all of this comes into play to prove your point of you're actually being attacked.
Yeah, it needs to be.
So
It definitely needs to be in the area that you're in, and maybe like before putting the phone down and setting it in a certain area, pan around the room so everyone can see there's nothing else in the room with you, in the cupboards. Just pan and go through everything so they can see there's nothing there, and then at least when you've gone to bed, then if they see something weird happening, they know that it's not normal because you've already shown that there's nobody here. So walk around your house, pan your house, and go, look, nobody's here. The doors are locked. Go to bed. And if anything happens, we know it's not you then because we can see you in the bed. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
think one of those, like, what
mhm.
would be really good is if you actually had one of those tripod things that actually move, and you could have the camera on there, and it could move the whole of the room. Surely you can get
Yeah.
something like a device like that where it moves the full 160 degree all the way around. You know what I mean?
I know. Just try and get as much documentation as you can so that they can see if there's anything around you.
Okay,
Physically,
so
what
he's
I
in
would do
South
if you're
Carolina.
doing, yeah, what I would
Right.
physically do if you're going to do it in a room where you're going to be, I'd put the camera not right in front of your bedroom door, but to the side to where your bedroom door is, because at least then, if anyone was to walk into your room, they're going to disturb the camera. So somebody's going to know that they've come in. You know what I mean? At least if it's in that doorway, it's going to be panning the whole of your bedroom. The only bit you're not going to
Yeah.
be seeing is the back door, the door to come in. All you're going to hear is hear it. You know what I mean?
Then
So
there's the succubus that comes. The succubus is probably the same thing as what's coming already. It's probably the same thing,
it could be it's
to
probably the
be
same
honest.
energy. It's not very often that you would have a succubus in a house and then have another spirit
They'll be playing with
that's
you.
negative. It's normally just them and then normal spirit. Then the succubus comes. That's not
Are
good
you
either.
picking up
Succubus
anything,
is not good.
ladies? Are you picking up anything from them? Usually
I'm
you
getting
can
very,
tell.
I'm getting very mixed emotions and very mixed signals from him at the minute. Like because I don't feel good when he's
Right,
talking about it. Normally, if I didn't think it's anything to worry about, I'd be all right. I do feel a bit on edge. Like I feel like my hairs on my neck are standing up slightly, but
right.
Okay,
You
I
so
could
just
then
think
identify.
something's going on.
he's talking about the succubus, and the camera needs to be on his whole entire bed. If he can get
Right,
it back far enough to catch the room with the bed in it,
right.
that would
Yeah,
be
that's what I was saying.
that
If you
would
do it in your
yeah,
bedroom, like, but do it near your
yeah.
back, do it near your bedroom door, not right in front of your bedroom door. So if you
So
got up
you've
to go
got
to
a
the toilet,
full
kind of like
view.
yeah,
Yeah.
just do it like near your cabinet, near your bedroom door, and have it so that it's panning your window, your bed, and everything, so that
So
they
you
can
can
see
see
what's happening
nobody's
to
in
you.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, because if it's
Just play
you being
around with it and
attacked,
get the
it's
best
you that we
angle.
need to see.
hmm
Because you're
And if
saying
you
you're being
got a
attacked, you
camera,
Oh,
need to
that
see
sounds
that.
like
yeah.
Christina, yeah.
And if you've
A
got a camera
succubus isn't
coming,
a good anything.
use your camera and your phone on different angles. The more
Yeah,
angles,
that
Yeah.
would be
the
good.
better.
Try to scare you, will
I
do.
would have your
Definitely try
video
to scare
camera.
you.
I would have your video camera at your bedroom door because the video camera would have a better vision coming out, and
Yeah.
have your phone set up near your bed, like a couple of meters away from your bed and
Oh,
facing down on your bed.
okay, now see, knocking on the door and seeing 1111 all the time. 1111 is actually angel numbers.
See, I was thinking it could be the angels calling out to you to
And
tell them
yeah,
that
and
to let you know they're there.
yeah, exactly, letting you know that,
And you get 3 a.m.
they're
3 a.m. knocks on my door. So
Yeah.
maybe there is positive energy that's trying to help you, but this negative energy needs to be removed. Like, it could be a number of things. An angel is not going to come in and start scratching you and trying to do
Yeah. The
sexy
angels
things
are
with you.
trying to
An
give you a
angel's not
sign
going
to
to
let
do
you
that.
know that they're
I mean,
around you. They'll be trying to
yeah.
figure it out as well as you.
hmm
They'll be trying to help you.
hmm
I see dead
so
people all in the time in a dream.
You've
So do you
probably
think you've
got
got
gifts.
abilities? Do you have
Yeah.
abilities?
Bet you've got gifts and you've not using them, and that's why they're getting
Let me see what this
frustrated.
one says first. That's funny you say that weird world because I've been seeing. Yeah, those are angel
111.
numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, one angel numbers are one. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he's got gifts. He's definitely got
Yes.
gifts.
Well, if you're not really using them the way that you should be using your gifts, and that can really upset some of the spirits,
Frustrate
especially if
them.
they are trying to reach out to you. But it still don't really explain why there'd be a succubus in that there. That's got to be for another reason.
Yeah,
And it
because
just
just the
So,
scratching, sometimes sometimes at that point it's not something evil, something trying to get your attention.
yeah.
That they are like, okay, so I've done this and this and this, and you're not paying attention, so I'm going to go a bit further and do this and this and this.
like your scratches, when you got the scratches, were they just like little scratches, or were they very deep and very pronounced?
Okay, I see dead people all the time in dreams. Then the next one was yes.
And that I
And then
can
the
see
next one was
things.
I can see things. And then,
And right,
right.
deep.
Deep.
So they were deep. That I can't see. I don't know.
Okay.
That don't sound good to me if it's deep. Like normally, if it's just an innocent scratch or something like that, but I think it
Yeah.
could be if you've got a succubus there, it's probably the succubus doing all of this stuff to you.
There's a card just
Hmm.
jumped
You know
up
what I mean?
right now.
Drew, are you going to
Sister
pull a
Drew's trying to
card?
Temperance.
work something out.
You get temperance.
Put it down a little bit more and we can see it.
Temperance you
Oh,
got.
okay.
I take well, obviously you do actually work in
Temperance.
a little bit of witchcraft and things. You've already said that you dabble. I'd just be very careful what you dabble with then, because I
I have
feel as
met.
if maybe there is something that you've not to blame you for it, but I do believe that there's probably something you're doing that's keeping it there. Either that or it's your gifts. You have got gifts, and that's what's keeping the energies with you. So
I,
try and figure out your gifts. Try and come to terms with the fact that you
I
are
don't.
going to attract spirits.
I don't think he's quite understanding of his gifts. He knows that they're there. I just get that from him that he's not familiar with the gifts, and I do think that if he performs magic, that maybe sometimes he's done something that's not been quite the way it should
Temperance.
be, and it's caused a
Yeah,
problem.
you've done something. Sorry to
Yeah,
put it back on you, but but going by the tarot, it's as if there's something. You've probably walked into a building or something and not protected yourself and not
yeah.
realised. Either that or be careful what you dabble with. Always protect yourself and
Especially if you've
don't
got
call upon
abilities.
anything you can't
Don't
handle.
ever walk anywhere without protecting stuff if you've got abilities.
Yeah. Be very careful what you play with. Some toys can break you.
Sherry
Sherry
is
is right.
right.
I
I
have messed
love.
up spells. Yeah, and spells. When you mess up spells, they can cause a lot of problems at times,
Yeah.
especially if you're not doing them right. Um,
Hmm.
That's why
and the
tempers.
scratches. This could be them like attacking out at you because you've obviously called them and they're trapped or something. That's what I feel like. Something's
Yeah, you
trapped.
think
You know what I
about
mean?
it. If somebody phones you and says, Andrina, I need your help. Can you come over? And I go away over to their house and I sit there for hours, days, weeks, waiting on them saying, right, I want you to help me with this. Maybe you've called something in for to help you and you've not gave them the direction yet. So they're trying to be loyal to you because you've called them in. But they will get angry if you don't give them a purpose for being there. It could be something like
Hmm.
that you've just not gave them the direction that you
See
called
what?
them in
It
for.
could be
Yeah.
that, or it could be that he's overusing them. He's using them for the wrong reasons. I'm sorry. I just get. I don't.
Yeah.
I pick up on things, and that's what I'm getting. Like he's overusing it. There's a
See.
bound with working with energies.
Yeah.
There
So
is.
well, what you got to understand too is if you've been doing like trying to do spells and you're calling on anything, okay? Tom, Dick, or Harry will say. What you don't understand is when you called on Tom, Dick, and Harry, what did you do? You opened up that door. You opened up the door, and now anything can come flooding in at
It was a
all
Satanist
different
years ago.
times of day and night. Yes,
Yeah.
instead of saying, I'm going to call upon Tom, Dick, and Harry. No one else is to enter. No one else is allowed. Only the specific ones I call upon. And then you do it, and then you have to close that door. You
You was a
cannot leave it open.
Satanist
But
years ago.
once
Yeah.
you open, once you
Oh,
open
hell.
it up,
Excuse me.
and you don't do it properly, then anything can come in. That's a portal. You just opened up a portal, pretty much. Is what will happen if that's what it was. Say this years ago, and it could
How
be
did you
years
end it?
ago. You
How did
know.
you end that? Because it doesn't just work like, okay, that's me, I'm stopping now, bye. It doesn't work like that. You've got to write a contract and rip it up. You've got to end that contract with them. You can't just say, right, okay, I'm walking
I
away
The
for
thing
opened
this.
is, the
the
thing
doors.
is,
I
sis,
was
with
wrong. Now I'm paying, and I'm not running
these sort of
anymore.
religions and stuff.
I think. Sharon, did you freeze up, or did you just
Did you
stop
freeze,
talking?
Shara?
I think she
Yeah, you've
froze up.
got to really be careful. There is things
Yeah,
you
no,
can do though, Weird World. It's not it's you there is things that you can do to get out of that energy. If you've been a Satanist and you've called in demons and things and they are still lurking in your background, waiting on you mucking up, waiting on your weakest moments, they're probably just waiting on you saying, right, okay, the relationship is over. Pay them a little bit of homage and end
sis.
that contract.
The thing is when you make a contract with any sort of magical spiritual being, even if you make a contract, and you say you want to come away from it, you're never going to be fully rid of them because you've had so much from them. You know what I mean? So it don't really matter what you need to do. Is for the starts, you need to start understanding what your abilities are. You need to stop using the magic in the inappropriate way. When you do call on your divine energies and your higher powers and your gods and goddesses, make sure that you put offerings out. Make sure, like Mystical said, that you
Yeah, you
only
can't have your
invite them
cake
and
and
you
eat
do
it.
not invite any other energy in. Okay, so you just say, I do not invite any negative energy. I do not invite any energy of any other, only so and so, so and so, and so and so. Blessed be,
Then,
amen, whatever
yeah,
you say.
yeah. And try
You know
to
what I mean?
put in, no one is allowed if they're not going to come in for the good of my higher self.
Yeah.
The
Oh
teacher
wow,
I
the
had,
teacher he had
Well,
of cursing
you was
people.
taught by someone, so obviously somebody was teaching you to do the bad way. So I'm not being funny. This is why I've never been part of cults and stuff because they can be very misleading in what they do
hmm
sometimes. You know
yeah,
what I
they
mean?
want you
Yeah,
to
you've
do
got
what
to be
they
careful who
want you
you
to
take
do.
direction
With
from.
red candles
hmm
and chants. Oh my god.
That's oh wow. Um,
Well, the main thing is, okay, so you did it, you screwed up, you've opened up a portal. Now, all of that, you know what you did. Now you have to just be working on what you have to do to undo it all.
yeah, you've
That's what
got
you
to
have
cut
to
that cord.
now. Yeah,
Do you have a
now you have
pendulum?
to work.
Do you have any pendulums or anything, Weird World? Because the first thing to do is go around with the pendulum, and if it goes clockwise, it shows the opening of a portal where they come in, and if they go anti-clockwise, it's the portal to go out. You always want to keep the portal that to going out open because that's moving anything out of your house. But you may need to close the portal where they're coming in because if
He
you've
said no.
done these
No,
spiritual, oh, maybe you might be able to get a pendulum. They're only a couple of quid. They're not that
yeah, they're
expensive,
not
but that
expensive.
is the most prominent way to use it to find a portal is
Or if you've got
use the
dowsing
pendulum
rods,
clockwise. Yeah, but dowsing rods are not really
they're not going to tell you what's
the
open
same
and
as
what's
they're not like the
yeah,
pendulum. Yeah, no,
yeah. They'll just
it's
tell you
normally a
where the
Because
dowsing
portal
rod.
was.
yeah, the
If it
dowsing
goes
rods isn't going to
clockwise,
make a vortex. He needs to make
Yeah,
a
yeah,
true,
no.
vortex.
If it goes
true.
clockwise, it's the opening and it's where they're coming in. And if it goes anti-clockwise, it's where they're going out. You keep the one going out open always. Never shut that one, but you need to close the one where they're coming in. Because where you've done your spells and practice, like Sister said, no matter what sort of work you're doing, even if you just sat there and wrote a simple little prayer or spell down on a thing and asked forward for it, you've opened the doorway to anything coming to you. Okay. You've always got to remember when you're doing your rituals, you open circles and you close your circles and you give thanks to your spirits and you send your spirits back on.
It's important,
Okay.
guys.
Very
Don't
important.
call the spirits
Weird,
in for
weird
no
world.
reason.
Yeah, weird world. If you have a nail, just a big long nail with a head on it, you can attach a chain or a string to it, that can be your pendulum. Anything that you have that can come down, that can move, and then something with a point on it
You've
that
got the
has some weight
magician,
to it, you can make your own pendulum.
and the Nine of Pentacles. Well, you're trying to maybe get further money wise, maybe for your career money. The magician shows me that you have been dabbling, that's for sure. So the power that you had in you dabbling, you have also still got that power in you to
Well,
close it.
that's what I'm saying. I was already picking up that he was doing. That's why I said what I said. And then you've got it in your cards. I'm sorry, but the cards don't lie. The
Yeah, you've
cards
got
will
the
say
Nine
it
of
how it is.
Pentacles. You were trying to
Yeah.
get financial gain.
Yeah, just any sort of necklace. It could be a necklace that's got like a ball on it. It could be a necklace that's got a heart. It can be anything. As long as it can dangle and you can have it so it can swing, it'll be fine. But always clockwise is the opening. That's the one that you need to close. Once you've found that portal, you're going to need to put white salt down, black salt down. You're going to need red brick. You're going to need frankincense and myrrh. You're going to need 2 black crystals to put on either side of the portal, and then you're going to need to do a spell with a prayer with the actual pendulum. What you do, so you can do the Lord's Prayer, you can do whatever prayer that you're doing, and you use the pendulum, and the pendulum should start going anti-clockwise. If it starts spinning anti-clockwise, you have to keep letting it
Keep
spin
doing the
anti-clockwise,
prayers.
and that closes the doorway. And you have to
Just
keep
keep the
saying,
prayers
you have
up.
to vision that doorway closing. You have to keep visioning that and praying, okay, and using those materials.
And he says he has an amulet. If you're able to attach a chain to that amulet, there you go.
Yeah.
Now you have a pendulum.
That'd be awesome. It can be anything, as long as it can
Swings.
spin, and whatever, Even
The
like a
prayers are
little
the important part, weird world, okay?
that you might have on the
Any
necklace, something
prayers
like this.
you know.
This would be fine if you use this. That would
Even
work.
Google prayers if you
You know what I
don't
mean?
know if you don't know any prayers, Google it and write them down.
Yes, and Christina brought up a very good point. It has to be an amulet you haven't
Yeah,
used in
no.
a spell, because we don't
It
want
has
to
to be a
bring
clean one.
anything else. Yeah, so that is a very
Well,
good
true,
point,
yeah.
and it would be best to clear it energy with selenite. Yeah,
Yeah,
you can
That's why I
cleanse
said
it.
that,
You
like a
can cleanse
pendulum or
it.
something.
Yeah.
That's why I said
See, all my
pendulum or something.
pendulums
You
are
don't use
sitting
them
on
in spells.
salt.
You don't use them in spells and stuff like that, really. I don't, anyway.
Yeah, I
So
keep my pendulums in salt at all times.
yeah,
Yeah, but anything, even the amulets, amulets,
Amulet.
amulets,
This
tongue
swinging
twister
things.
there, can be cleansed. So whatever
they
you
can.
have can be cleansed.
Yeah.
Just put them onto some salt and put the salt over them and do a prayer over them. Do sage and then salamento wood over them just to cleanse them, and then maybe even bringing a bit of
Like
maybe
Solomon
nature or
amulets.
earth
That'll probably
into the
help you
house as
better.
well. A bit of Mother Nature as well, but like a bit of dirt or something cleansing that's natural. Like these sort of things would be really good to clean up.
And you can sit it outside too during a full moon to pull in that energy. What you're
These
putting
are
the
King
energy into
Solomon's
it.
amulets.
Hmm.
Solomon.
King Solomon.
You
I
have cleansed them.
them good.
Okay, good.
If you've done anything in between the time you've cleansed them and you've done something, another working or whatever, and then you've gone and you've touched it, you'll need to cleanse it again. So cleanse it before you
Okay,
actually,
Christine.
would use it.
Love you, Christina.
Bye, Christina.
No, but I have to run, store, close. Okay, be very careful. See you
I'll
on
be around
WhatsApp.
Friday.
Okay.
To be honest, any of your any crystals, any amulets, anything like that should be cleansed on a regular basis, because what you've got to remember, anything coming into your house, anyone coming into your house can bring an energy that is not wanted.
Yeah.
So it's very, very important to always cleanse your spiritual practice tools. It's very
Before,
important. I do it every day, 3 times a day. I do it.
Before and
You've got the
after
Nine of
any
Cups.
working.
And I pulled a
See?
card for your outcome.
Because metal,
For your outcome.
what was it,
And
Drew?
you have got the Nine of Cups. It's okay when you go, sis. I'll do it after. I'll say it after you say your part. It's okay.
Oh, I was just saying to cleanse it before, and after. Just make sure that nobody else touches it when you've cleansed it, put it away.
I stopped practicing years ago. Yeah, okay, it's fine that you.
Yeah.
It's really good that you stopped practicing the stuff. Yeah, but what you got to remember is some of that visual
See, those
energy.
energies are still going to
It's
be there.
always going to remain around you. It's always going to remain around you. So you still need to make sure that you cleanse yourself all the time. And because you've got an ability as well, that is another reason for you to be cleansing yourself all the time as well. Because you are just as much a source to pick something up than what your instrument you're wearing is. Okay,
To be honest
Yeah.
take it.
with you, anybody that's spiritually open, whether it was years ago or now, you should always be keeping your protection up. Because if you were open then, you're still open now. You've
Even
got
if
to
you're
Yeah.
not
keep your
practicing or
protection
anything
up.
anymore, you being open and seeing things will never ever leave you. Once you're
Yeah.
open, you're open.
Because the
You know
spirit
what I mean?
world has no time, so
Yeah.
No.
years don't mean
And
nothing to them. Drew, what was that card you just
you
pulled?
got the 6 of Cups, and this was for
Yeah.
your overall
Okay.
outcome, okay?
Yeah.
The 6 of Cups, I do feel as if you've been trying to get financially more by your with what you've been doing. To me, watch for the way this is like a kind of warning to you for you've already something's already went wrong trying to get money through spell work. I do believe that this is going to be a bit of a warning for you. You are going to be probably successful in money, but your emotions are all over the place because of it all. This is the 6 of Cups. This is to show me that your emotions are everywhere. You're confused by it all. So don't do anything else until you get that confusion sorted out in your head. It's important to go into these things with a clear mind and know what you're doing. And if you are doing it for financial gain, be very careful who you call upon for that financial gain because it can all backfire for you if you do not give them what you said you'd give them. Be
Exactly.
very
They will.
careful.
They will hunt you down. They will hunt you down. Like if you make a if you're what you got to think. You're making a pact with them. If they're helping you, you're to help them. If you're not giving back what they want, then they're not going to be happy with you, and they're going to be causing you loads of crap. Okay,
Exactly.
and
And there's
what
no
you've got to
time
remember
limit
as
on
well
it
is
either.
It's maybe
where
not
you
been
stop
power, it's
doing
maybe
it as
been
well. That's going to be
power. It could have
that's
been,
gonna pay them off as well. The fact that you've walked away after asking them on something, and then you've just
yeah,
left
you've
them
got to be
standing there.
careful,
You know what I mean? So of
guys.
course they're going to be really peed off.
Yeah. It could
Just
have been a
remember,
gesture you were asking
Never
about. It
ever
could have
go
been a
into doing something
favor
without
you were
thinking before you
asking
do it.
yeah,
about.
if
And a
you
lot of
tell
years can go by.
a spirit, a deity, an angel, anything, if you tell them, if you ask for their help and say, "Will you please help me, Archangel Michael, and I will give you a drink of water, I will give you a gram of whiskey, whatever," you've got to come through with that, guys, because it's disrespectful if you don't. You've got to give them the what you said you would give them, whether it's a drink of water, a 2 pence coin. Don't ever just not give, think, okay, that's fine, I've got what I wanted, and walk away. You can't do that.
Okay,
They'll
you're
Yeah.
never
saying
help you again.
you never done it for money.
It
You
could be
never
for
done it for
power
money.
or
It
anything.
doesn't matter what you've done it for. It don't matter even if you didn't do it for money. It doesn't matter what you've asked for the help in. The fact is you've asked for it, and they know that you have. You know what I mean?
I,
So
It's not
even if
easy
it's
to
not
walk
money,
away.
Sister
That's what I'm
Drew
trying
is
to
still
say.
picking up on those cards that you have done
Yeah.
something and asked for something and haven't done something.
It
that's what
feels
I
You know
as
what I
if
mean?
say. It could have been a gesture. It could have been wishing something. And then once that's done, it could be 20 years gone by, and then all of a sudden, guess who
the
pops
weight,
up and wants to be paid back for it? When I'm saying paid back, I'm not talking about in money. It could be your soul. It could be any kids you fathered. It could be a family member.
That's why you have to watch what you're
It could
doing.
be,
You have to watch it.
yeah,
you have to
yeah.
be careful, guys, is my
Because if
point. Just please be careful.
payment wasn't issued, it could be anything.
The thing is, right, what you've got to remember,
Yeah.
you
It
can
could be
never
just
go
for
in
you doing better in
asking
life.
and not giving back. Magic is not about taking,
Yeah.
okay? If you ask them to do something, you give back, always. It doesn't matter. Do you know
Even
what I
if
mean?
it's just for their help, maybe you called them in
Yeah,
to help you through a bad time. It's maybe even that, and they feel as if you've
be anything.
disrespected them.
But whatever it is, it don't feel good. So they've obviously had a long time to get peed off. You know
Yeah,
what I
you
mean?
have to be careful, guys. And for anybody watching back on this, please just take heed of what we've said. If you do call upon any deities, angels, ancestors, spirits, always give them what you said you'll give them because they will take it back off you just like that.
Do you
And
know,
don't offer to give them
I think
something
a
if
lot of
you
people, when they
can't
hear the word
come
angels,
up
they
with
think,
it.
well, angels are
Exactly.
really beautiful beings. They won't do anything if I don't give nothing back to
No,
them. They're
they
angels.
won't
They're
do
kind.
anything like that.
Believe me,
Yeah.
all of these energies are powerful and have the right of respect. Okay, and are pronounced to be able to do what they want if you disrespect them. An angel
Yeah.
can change from being beautiful to being the opposite if you don't
And if you
respect
are
it
just
properly.
wearing amulets to protect yourself, just make sure you keep cleansing your amulets. Don't wear
Yeah,
them for like 6 months at a time and think they're still protecting you. They could be still protecting you, but always
I
give
would
them
at
a
least
little cleanse every so
if he
often.
wears it every day, I would cleanse it
Yeah,
at least once a day, every day,
yeah. It just
just
depends if
once
it's all
every day.
around you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome in whoever's coming in that's not in the chat because we see
Welcome in,
that we got
everybody.
another like on here or
I would
view.
say
So,
once a day at the minute because he's got all this energy around him and that, any. So he needs to be
Yeah.
keeping himself covered. I do think you need to seek some help though, because obviously the situation you've got yourself into is not a very good one.
oh, it's
Hi,
Hatchy
Hatchy,
Hatchy.
Hello,
brother.
Hattie.
Hi, Hatchy. How's buds? Good, good. I'm glad you're checking in. Brilliant.
Welcome in, welcome in.
Remember and watch back, guys, because it has been a good live stream. We
Hmm.
were talking to Eli a little while at the beginning and explaining why it's important that you all share your journeys if you have
Don't
had near death experiences and things. We want to hear about it because it could be important for another spirit.
Hmm.
And we hope that you realise, Weird World, we're not being nasty to you. We're not judging
No,
you.
no,
We're
not
very
at all.
concerned. We are witches and we work with magic and stuff ourselves. We know the outcomes that can happen
Yeah.
if you don't do it right, and that we're just
We're just
concerned for
worried
you.
for you.
Yeah,
We're worried for anybody else that does it as well because it's
yeah,
important to
definitely.
always do what you say you're going to do. You needed
Huh.
this.
Yeah.
And remember,
Yeah.
we're always in the background. We're always around if you need to reach out.
You needed this.
Definitely
Well,
do it.
that's what we're here for. It's good if you did
Yeah.
start to talk to us because you'd be sitting
Yeah.
in this predicament again, wouldn't you? Like with me,
Uh,
like if I go to the woods and I ask for a bit of wood and I know that I'm making a ritual to a certain god or goddess, I will always put like water down, offerings down. I put ribbon to the tree. Then when I get home, I cleanse everything I've picked up. When I call on the goddess, I put food, drink out. I put out her favourite bracelet or necklace that she likes. I'll put out her favourite stone. There's so many
Yeah.
things that you have to do to make them happy. You know what I mean? So,
You just have to treat them with
yeah,
respect and don't
yeah.
ask them to do
um,
So,
anything that you're not
yeah.
going to be thankful for.
Weird world. Go on my, well, look at my channel, and I have on there how to make Archangel Michael oil. Make you some Archangel Michael oil. Do a
We've got prayers
prayer.
there as well.
Ask, yeah, ask, do a prayer. Ask the angels to come in. Be honest with them. Let them know you did stuff that you feel now what you did was wrong, and that you opened up doors. You need those doors, closed. Ask for their help and guidance to help you understand what you need to do to get all of this, past
Yeah.
you.
e-
You can make
even
that
if you don't know
oil,
how to
get
do
you a,
that, you could get a blessing oil. You could get a blessing oil and use the St. Michael prayer.
yes, or you want to anoint the candle with the oil, or you can dress the candle with the oil,
Mhm.
and sit it down and spend time with it. Put your intentions into it, what you're asking.
Yeah.
Don't offer anything that you can't give. So while you're doing that, if you want to just get a glass, put some water in it, and say, "This is the offering to you. I'm asking for your help." Do that, because then you're giving them what you offered, and it's done. You don't have to worry about later, oh shoot, I
Yeah,
forgot to give
you
them
always have to
water.
Yeah.
give back,
Do it at
no
that
matter what
time.
you have to give back. I
Yeah.
don't go out and use really expensive stuff. I'll buy a really nice bottle of orange juice, or I'll use water, or I'll use like even a fizzy drink. I'll put it in a cup. Go, this
Water's
is
a
for you.
good.
I'll put a maybe
Yeah,
a
we
sandwich
love the
out.
water.
Just something simple,
Hmm.
anything like that.
Yeah.
They'll be happy with.
He said,
Also,
okay,
it's
no
Water's
just showing
usually
them
offerings.
enough.
gratitude.
The water you're giving them is an offering. That is your
Yeah.
Hmm.
offering you're giving them, because
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's saying, this, I'm asking for your help and I'm offering this water. So you can do the offering, just make sure it's what you're putting there at
Yeah.
that time. Don't let it linger and say, oh, well, I'll give you the water tomorrow.
Later.
No, do
No,
it
don't
at
do
that.
that.
Put them a glass right there at that time.
No,
Yeah.
you need to
Got you.
give an offering, sweetheart. If you're going to be calling
Yeah.
on Angel Michael or any sort of element, you're going to need to give them an offering because you've already taken from them. You need to give something back. That's why they're there. You've not kept your will and your contract with them. Is what you've
Hmm.
done.
Yeah.
You do need to give
Yeah.
Even
them a
even if I like
drink
I go
or a
to
bit
the
of. It doesn't matter.
graveyard.
Even a bit of fruit.
Yes, even if like when I go to the graveyard, and even if it's a family graveyard, and I ask them, if I can please, have, some dirt to do a prayer for somebody, because everybody thinks that just going to a graveyard is something bad. No, you
Yeah.
can use it for the good. So
It's
what
more
I do is
spiritual place for us.
I even take like corn nuts or sunflower seeds, and as an offering, I spread them out and say, this is my offering to all of the spirits in there, so that when the birds come, when the squirrels come, when the animals come, they will enjoy seeing them there. And then
Evie!
I do that at that time. Welcome, Evie. So yeah,
See,
so I do that at that time. So that was an offering, and I did it right away, as
Yeah.
I'm asking, you know for what
I
I went
even do
there
it when
for.
I'm having an investigation at a graveyard, even though
Hmm.
you're not really asking them to do you a favor. You are asking them to talk to you and to communicate with you. So I still put an offering down there because they're
Yeah.
using their energy to do that for you. It's very important to give back to anything that you're trying
Right,
to
especially
communicate
if
with.
there's a
Respect.
gatekeeper.
Yeah,
Yeah. I know I'm
Especially,
just
gatekeeper will
remembering this
chase you.
gatekeeper doing a
Gatekeeper will chase
gatekeeper.
you.
yeah, especially if there's a gatekeeper. A
Yeah,
lot
I'm
of
getting used to it,
gatekeepers that
guys.
control what's going on.
He won't
Yeah.
take lightly if you're going in there and disrupting them and not giving them respect.
I
He will not
know.
take
I
that
do
lightly.
always need to forget, and I always forget
Yeah.
about the gatekeeper. Don't get me wrong. I always say in my mind when I get out the car, "Welcome, spirits. I'm not here to do any harm." And then when I go in the place, I'll always repeat it. But as for directly talking to the gatekeeper, I always forget. So I'll need to remember that. See, I'm not perfect either, guys.
We all make mistakes and stuff. Like
Yeah.
normally, like if I like when I first started going to my church place, the first thing I ever spoke to was my gatekeeper because I knew that
Yeah,
to be able to speak to the spirits, I need to get the trust of the gatekeeper. So I would take the offerings for him and talk to him, tell him how I think he was being amazing and what he was doing for the graveyard, and he
yeah.
started to respect me. Then he let the spirits talk to me, but I still had to bring offerings. He says, you can't come here, ask them to talk to you without bringing something. And I
Hmm.
never
But
had
this
not
job, he
taken
knows my
something.
heart, isn't it? The spirits know
Yeah.
if you're a good person or not, and they know your intent. So it's good job that the gatekeeper obviously knows I've no harm in me, or I
Yeah.
would have
See, a lot of
Even just to
spread
thank
over the
you,
wall.
even just thanking them for communicating with you and just putting a little bottle of water onto the grass
Yeah, I
it's an
always
offering.
give my gratitude. And I
yeah,
always
a lot
say
of
Yeah.
people
thank
don't
you.
realize that the gatekeepers control a lot of what goes on in the cemetery. The
Yeah,
graveyards and all of that. So,
My guy used to stand
yeah.
at the at the gate
and you're
entrance,
welcome.
and he would stand there and I'd come and I would have to say, hello,
No
gatekeeper, I'm here
problem.
to talk to the spirits and I'm here to talk to you. And I go, am I allowed to come in? I would always ask for permission to go
Yeah,
into that place. I wouldn't just walk in it. And he'd be like, yeah, you can come in. And then straight away, I'll put the water down. This is for you. Thank you. And now I'd go over to the spirits and I put a bit of water down for them. I give my thank yous and I ask them to come and communicate with me.
probably.
But even when I'm doing that, I put crystals and stuff out just so they can get
Yeah.
energy.
Yeah.
You're giving them something that it's
Well,
really
I do
important you're
do
giving them
that right
something.
enough, so that's probably been enough through the
It is an
years.
offering. Even putting your crystals out is an offering. You're giving them
Yeah,
energy. You know what I mean? You're not just using their
Hmm.
energy and going. You're giving them something back. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
Yeah, just think about it. If somebody keeps coming to you and asking you for stuff, and after a while you get tired of it and think, oh, they're just using
I
me.
wonder if
yeah,
You know.
that is
exactly. Yeah,
where the tradition of the leaving the flowers on the grave is. Well, yeah, it's giving a
Hmm.
present and an offering to them of their remembrance and how they were part of your life. That's why you put the flowers down.
see, it
Yeah,
might
I've
not have
seen
been the
many
Reaper.
reapers. Believe
Yeah,
me.
Yeah.
It might not have been the Reaper. It could have been like another spirit that looks like it, because there's loads of spirits look like the Grim Reaper. Remember?
Oh, I see Reaper sometimes like at people's houses when I like driving past, and then I see him
Right.
like walking up the like the drive up to their walkway, and I'm like, oh.
So is that definitely a sign then that that person's going to pass soon?
Well, it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to pass, but maybe really soon, or they got a message for them. Something's going on, but I've seen them.
Right.
I've seen them
Right.
driving home. Not here, but
Yeah.
I've seen them,
Yeah, no,
on the
you do,
way.
sweetheart. It's very, very
Yeah.
Hmm.
important that you learn to not rush in. Always make sure that you're
Yeah.
aware of what you're doing and what you're communicating with first. It's very
Enjoy
important.
your path. Enjoy
Enjoy
the
it, yeah,
learning. Enjoy the
yeah,
experience. Enjoy when you know you've made that connection. There's nothing better when you know that something you've done is worked, and it's an amazing feeling. Make that your goal, is to always do something that's worthwhile, that it's helpful. Don't ever do anything just for the sake of doing it. Don't rush anything either.
Yeah.
Just enjoy what you're doing and do it with purpose. Do it for a purpose.
and
I
if
keep
you
y'all.
if you,
Oh,
go on,
if
sis.
y'all if y'all see me, I keep looking down. It's because I got a thorn in my finger, and I've whacked off all my
Oh,
nails again, and I have no nails to pull it out.
oh no. See, I did
I've
mine's.
whacked them all off.
I did mine's our favourite colours,
Yeah,
red
for
and
me,
purple.
for me, for
Plus, you can't do our
me.
nails right now. Yeah.
So if
Red and
anybody knows all
purple.
my
To
videos,
learn
I've
not
had
to,
long
yeah.
nails. I whacked them all off.
Yes,
They're
you've
more than
used
happy.
beautiful nails,
They're
guys.
more, they're more than they're more than happy work with you, but
Yeah.
you just have to know how to
Just enjoy
Yeah.
your path.
respect them.
That's my thing to everybody, guys. Don't do it unless you love it. And when you're doing it, enjoy it. Make everything a learning experience, and make everything come for your heart. And you can't go wrong as long
Yeah,
as you're doing it
and
because you
change
enjoy
your
it and you're doing it for
yeah.
the good.
And from this moment on, change your way of thinking. Don't be thinking negative. Don't be thinking bad thoughts. Just try to stay cheerful, excited, stay calm. And a lot of times,
Yeah.
just the love in your heart will push a lot of these entities away because they don't want that. They
Yeah,
want confusion.
yeah,
They want
Exactly.
chaos in your life.
yeah.
But if you're thinking love, calming, staying less stressed, and being happy, and lighting, a candle every morning, or an incense, and giving an offering, just say thank you, to my angels, my guides, for being here, watching over me. If you do this every day, you're going to find out a lot of
That's
that
good with the
I
weight,
world,
do think
yeah.
a lot of
negative a
that
lot.
Good.
weight is going to be starting, you're going to be feeling it leaving.
Do
Um,
you suffer from like depressions and stuff? Because you say that you think negative a lot. Do you have like certain depression situations and things that maybe make you feel that way? Because sometimes if you've done spell work in the past and you've done it when you've been in this sort of frame of mind, this could call things in that shouldn't be coming
Yeah,
in
you
as
need
well.
to be
mhm.
careful.
They feed on your energy. Yeah, you
um,
all I know more about me
And
than
your
my own
our
family.
family. Yeah, but
family.
that's
That's
because we've
because we're
seen it so many
interested in
times.
helping you. Yeah.
And we are linked and we are connected and we understand what the craft
Hmm.
is and we understand
Any
the outcome
negative
from it.
situation you find yourself in,
Yeah.
even if it's a heartbreaking negative situation,
Mm.
try and find that one thing that is a positive outcome from it. Even
Hmm.
if everything else breaks your heart, try and cling on to that positive thing, and cling to it until you're out the situation. That's what I try and do.
Yeah,
Anything bad that
yeah,
happens, try and find a silver cloud, because it
don't
will
be
help you.
thinking, yeah, don't be thinking of what happened to you when you were a kid. That's past. That's gone. It is no longer you. Whatever happened back then, that's no
It's not
longer you.
serving you anymore. So don't let
Yeah.
No,
it trouble you.
everybody changes, everybody develops, everybody changes their path as they are getting older, the way that they're thinking. The main thing is stay positive. always have that love in your heart. That's why we try to teach people how to empower themselves, because that's going to push so many bad energies away from you, and
Yeah.
you are definitely going to start feeling it. Stay upbeat, stay happy, do things you enjoy. Think
And
about good
surround
memories.
yourself with people that's positive. That's important.
Hmm.
Surround yourself with positive people.
Yeah, that's really important as well. Now, I can get and understand what it's like to go through things as a kid. I've been through things myself, okay? So I do get that, what you're saying, and it can be very difficult to move on from that, okay? But you can do it, okay? It's about trusting in yourself and realizing that despite what you've faced and you've been through, you're still here and you'll become a better person for it, okay? And that's
Yes.
what you should be proud of. You should be proud that you've come out the other way. Yes, you've made a few mistakes, we all do, but we
I
can sort
know
that. But
you're a
you need to
man, but do you
start.
journal?
You need
A
to
lot of the time, if you write your feelings
start with
down, it
yourself.
helps.
It does, yeah.
Try
Writing it
and
all
write,
down,
yeah.
even just writing it down and putting it into a bowl with fire and just saying,
See, I
"Please help,"
think you've
like just
probably not been
asking
through.
just the
I
Lord
don't think
to
you've done
help you.
any
You're just
shadow
like
work. It's important to do your shadow work and things before you
that.
touch
I was going to
any
actually say that
magical
to you a
tool.
minute ago, sis. Do you think he would need to be?
Yeah.
I was going to say that to you a minute ago, sis. Do you think he would benefit from shadow work?
I think you're going to have to do some shadow work, and basically it's just allowing you to cope with what happened to you in your past. Think about what happened and what the outcome was, and try and work in your mind. If it wasn't your
I
fault and
need
it was
to.
somebody else's, blame that person. Write it down and say, right, this happened to me and it wasn't my fault. And try and work out whose fault it was. And even if it was yourself, blame yourself and then move on from it. It's important that you draw that line under it, understand what happened to you, draw the line under it, and then move on, because it will affect you for years to come if you don't face it head on.
I need to. I thought I was over this. That's what I'm saying. That's what we're saying. If you've not spoke about it and you've not let it out to anybody, then even though you've maybe felt like you're dealing with it, it's still very deep within your soul. So you do need to do something to remove that. Even
Yeah,
like Sis said, looking in the mirror and realizing the mistakes that you made, and that you've been able to come away from that and make it right. You've got to
yeah.
see all sides of you to understand it and to move forward.
Just him saying he didn't at the beginning, he didn't want to be a bother, means he's keeping it bottled up in
Yeah,
him.
that's
And
what
you have
that's
to,
what I thought.
yeah, and you have to remember, every person has dominion over their body. If you don't know what
Yeah.
that means, it means you have the gift to keep things away from you. You have you have the gift to control your mind and body, but you have to empower that. You have dominion over your body. With all of the entities that I deal with, believe me, they are not going to penetrate my bubble because of that, because I have
No
dominion
problem.
over my body and they are not going to come in. So start working on that. I also have on my channel how to put that light around you, how to bubble yourself.
Yes.
You need to
Yeah,
watch that and you need to do that.
Start protecting your energy when you're
you
around
could do
people
a
that's
simple. You could
vampires.
do a simple shielding one for that. Okay, and all it is you putting your feet to the ground. Okay, and you're visualizing a white or gold or silver light coming from the very core of Mother Earth. Okay, and she's coming up through your feet and your legs, and you're imagining this light surrounding your body and expanding out, and it's making a circle to protect you. You can do this with a bit of meditation music, a nice incense stick. Lavender, jasmine, though, and heather are really good to keep negative energies at bay as well. Maybe burning a lavender or, you know, jasmine, anything like that, and putting a bit of meditation music on, and just imagine that light expanding
And
out and
let
protecting
everything
you.
go.
It's,
Let your
it's
past go.
yeah,
Imagine it going down the river in a little boat and it's gone.
yeah.
And then this is you, a fresh start. Try and focus that into your
You're
meditation
not that
and you,
person
you will
anymore.
feel a lot better, I promise you.
Just look in the
Hmm.
mirror every morning and smile at yourself and just tell yourself that you love yourself and that you're special and you're important. That you've
Yep.
got to make yourself see that.
But don't just say the words. You have to
You've
mean
got
it.
to
It
mean
has
it.
to come down
Feel
deep
it.
Yeah.
down in your soul. It has to
You've got to
come
feel it.
up with meaning.
Yeah.
Don't they're not just words. You have to understand what each word represents when you say it.
Yeah. I always
See,
tell
when I do
myself,
that,
I am now on my path. That is what I try to put into my soul every day when I'm struggling. Even if I'm just struggling to get out of my bed, I always try and get myself to say, I
I'll
have a
just go and
purpose,
repeat
get
it.
up, you know, that
I do
type of
it
thing.
because I have
Empower
struggles and
yourself.
stuff. I still have
Yeah,
problems. I still have problems. I'll stand in front of my mirror and I'll repeat, I am beautiful. I am strong. I can get through this. I am beautiful. I am strong. I can get through this. And it
yeah.
gets louder and it gets more passionate. You've really got to feel what you're saying
And
because
make
that's how
sure
it
you know
changes
you've
you.
got a purpose in this
Yeah.
life because everybody's
Yeah.
got a purpose, even if you don't know it yet. It's there.
You
Okay.
are
Mhm.
special. Every life matters.
I'm going to have to drop out anyway, ladies, because Liam's not long in and
Yeah,
I'll
we've
go and
been
get him
on
settled for the
for
night.
nearly two
Yeah.
hours now.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
almost 2 hours, and I'm gonna let you go too, because I'm sure that Lee's getting skinnier by the moment.
Oh, bless him.
It's not even
He always
feeding
says, "Honey, I'm hungry.
and
I've been getting skinnier by the
And to
moment."
weird world,
Oh,
if you do want to try and get hold of any of us, you can go under the videos. You can add us on Facebook. I'm
we're
under Sherry
all on
Brett. You've got Sister
Facebook and
Drew here.
things as
We're all
well.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Sister Drew, Sister Mystical. We're all on Facebook. If you just need to talk, just reach out to us.
No
Okay,
problem.
so we're gonna go ahead and he says thanks, guys, and we're gonna go ahead and end it here. And thank you everybody for coming into the chat, whether you're watching it now or watching it on the replay. And thank you to my co-host Drew. Thank
No
you
problem.
to my guest Sherry, and thanks everybody. And if you will
Love you,
accept a
angels.
prayer, if you will accept a prayer from us, we will do a prayer. When we get, when we're off, and
Yeah.
later we'll get our
Light a
everything
candle
situated. Yeah, and we'll do a prayer if you accept it. We don't do prayers for
if
anybody
you're
unless
wanting
they
to. We won't
accept
just do
it.
it
Yeah,
without you saying. We
Yeah.
won't do it
yeah.
Yeah, I
without you
do
saying.
prayers every night. I can add you to
But if
my
you're
prayers,
happy
not a
with that,
problem.
we'll just light up a candle, put an
Yeah.
incense on, and just do a little prayer for you. That's all we do. It's nothing
Hmm.
else.
It's just to wish you all the love and light.
Yeah.
We love
So
you,
we're gonna
angels. Thank you all.
Night,
and we're gonna
guys.
let
Have a good
everybody
day.
go. Bye.
Night. Blessings, everybody.
Yes, he said yes later, sisters. So he's
No
okay with us to
problem.
do
We'll
that.
definitely send you
Mhm.
prayers.